Have you ever doubted your own thoughts? This question marks the beginning of an enlightening journey through the pages of Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen. This book is not just another self-help guide, but a profound exploration of self-awareness and cognitive function. Throughout its chapters, it urges us to challenge our own thoughts and beliefs, to question, and not to accept everything our mind presents to us as the absolute truth. The author, Joseph Nguyen, brings a wealth of knowledge from his background as a cognitive behavioral therapist. His expertise in the field provides a credible foundation for the ideas presented in this book, making it a valuable resource for those seeking to understand the complexities of the human mind and how our thoughts shape our realities. So, let's embark on this journey together, through the mind and beyond, as we challenge the status quo of our thought processes. Now prepare to dive into the chapters of this intriguing book. The journey begins with the first 5 chapters. Chapter 1, aptly titled Understanding Cognitive Distortions, lays the groundwork for the entire book. It introduces us to the concept of cognitive distortions, the inaccurate thoughts that can influence our emotions, behaviors, and decisions. This chapter not only defines cognitive distortions but also explains their profound impact on our lives. Chapter 2, The Power of Thoughts, delves deeper into the mechanics of our thinking patterns. It emphasizes the importance of challenging our thoughts, asserting that not all thoughts represent the absolute truth. This chapter further introduces the idea that our thoughts are not always reliable, and it's essential to question them. In Chapter 3, Identifying Cognitive Distortions, author Joseph Nguyen provides practical tools to help us recognize these distorted thought patterns. He presents a list of common cognitive distortions such as all-or-nothing thinking, overgeneralization, and catastrophizing, among others, helping us to pinpoint where our thinking may be skewed. Chapter 4, Challenging Cognitive Distortions, is where the rubber meets the road. It's filled with practical exercises and techniques to challenge and change these distorted thoughts. Nguyen encourages the reader to question their thoughts, examine the evidence, and consider alternative explanations. The 5th chapter, The Role of Emotions, explores the intricate link between our thoughts and emotions. It explains how distorted thoughts can lead to intense emotions, which in turn reinforce the distorted thoughts. This chapter emphasizes the need to break this vicious cycle by challenging our thoughts and managing our emotions effectively. These initial chapters of Don't Believe Everything You Think provide the building blocks to understanding cognitive distortions. They encourage us to become more aware of our thoughts, question their validity, and challenge them when necessary. They remind us that our thoughts are not always a reflection of reality and teach us how to navigate our mental landscape more effectively. These chapters lay the foundation of understanding our cognitive distortions. As we move forward, the next 5 chapters build upon this foundation. In Chapter 6, Nguyen delves further into the concept of cognitive distortions, those pesky misinterpretations our minds often make about the reality around us. He highlights how these distortions can significantly impact our mental health and overall well-being. The author explains that despite their negative influence, cognitive distortions are often so ingrained that we don't even realize we're experiencing them. Chapter 7 presents an interesting proposition, challenging our cognitive distortions. The author suggests that by identifying and understanding these distortions, we can begin to challenge them, slowly breaking free from their grip. Nguyen provides several practical techniques to help us do this, such as cognitive restructuring and mindfulness meditation. In Chapter 8, Nguyen takes us a step further by introducing the idea of cognitive reframing. It's not enough to merely challenge distortions, we must also replace them with healthier, more accurate thoughts. Cognitive reframing, as explained by Nguyen, is the process of changing our perspective to create a more positive outlook. Chapter 9 focuses on a series of exercises designed to put these theories into practice. Nguyen encourages us to actively apply cognitive restructuring and reframing techniques in our daily lives. He provides practical examples and scenarios, turning theory into actionable steps. Finally, Chapter 10 wraps up this section by summarizing the key takeaways. Nguyen reiterates the importance of recognizing and challenging cognitive distortions. He emphasizes that while it's a gradual process, by consistently applying the techniques discussed, we can make significant strides towards healthier thinking patterns. In essence, these chapters serve as a guide to our mental landscape. illuminating the pitfalls of cognitive distortions and providing the tools necessary for us to navigate it more effectively. Nguyen's approach is both pragmatic and empathetic, striking a balance between theoretical understanding and practical application. These chapters offer practical methods to challenge our distorted thoughts. In the final chapters, the author brings it all together. As we journey into chapters 11 through 15 of Don't Believe Everything You Think, we see the author, Joseph Nguyen, masterfully amalgamating theory with practice. Here he provides a variety of real-life examples and case studies, illustrating the application of the techniques and principles discussed earlier in the book. Chapter 11 delves into the concept of cognitive biases. Nguyen explains how these automatic mental shortcuts can lead us astray, emphasizing the importance of recognizing and challenging them. He uses relatable examples, making it easier for readers to identify these biases in their own thinking. In Chapter 12, the author discusses the power of perspective. He illustrates how shifting our viewpoint can drastically alter our understanding and reaction to situations. Through compelling case studies, he paints a vivid picture of the transformative power of perspective shifts. Chapter 13 is a deep dive into the realm of emotional intelligence. Nguyen highlights the correlation between our thoughts, feelings, and actions. He again uses real-life examples to demonstrate how enhancing our emotional intelligence can lead to better decision-making and improved relationships. In the penultimate chapter, the author explores the concept of cognitive restructuring. He explains how this technique can help us challenge harmful beliefs and replace them with healthier alternatives. This chapter is a practical guide, providing readers with a step-by-step approach to apply cognitive restructuring in their lives. Finally, Chapter 15 wraps up the book with a summary of the key points discussed throughout. Nguyen emphasizes the importance of continual growth and learning. He encourages readers to remain curious, open-minded, and willing to challenge their thoughts and beliefs. These final chapters offer a practical, applicable approach to the theories and techniques discussed earlier. They reinforce the importance of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and cognitive restructuring in challenging our thoughts and beliefs. These final chapters reinforce the need to challenge our thoughts and beliefs. Having journeyed through the book, let's summarize the main points. Don't Believe Everything You Think is a powerful exploration of our thought processes, urging us to examine and challenge our beliefs and assumptions. It's a voyage into the realm of cognitive distortions, those skewed ways we perceive reality that often lead us astray. One of the key points is the importance of questioning our thoughts. We often accept our thoughts as facts without scrutiny, but Nguyen implores us to challenge this habit. He encourages us to adopt a mindset of curiosity, to question our automatic thoughts and assumptions, and to seek evidence that supports or contradicts them. A significant part of the book is devoted to understanding cognitive distortions. Nguyen identifies these as the root of many of our psychological issues and negative emotions. He breaks down common distortions such as all-or-nothing thinking, overgeneralization, and catastrophizing. These distortions can lead us to see the world in black and white, to make broad generalizations from single incidents, or to expect disaster from every corner. Nguyen doesn't just shed light on these distortions, but he also provides us with tools to challenge and overcome them. The techniques he shares range from cognitive restructuring, a method of identifying and disputing irrational or maladaptive thoughts, to mindfulness and meditation, which can help us to stay focused on the present and avoid getting caught up in our distortions. Another vital point discussed is the role of self-compassion in dealing with our thoughts. Instead of berating ourselves for falling prey to cognitive distortions, Nguyen suggests we treat ourselves with kindness and understanding. This approach can help us to respond more effectively to our distortions and to foster a healthier relationship with our thoughts. In essence, Don't Believe Everything You Think is a call to action. It encourages us to become more mindful of our thought processes, to question our assumptions, to understand and challenge our cognitive distortions, and to treat ourselves with compassion. These are the key takeaways from Don't Believe Everything You Think. As we conclude this journey, remember this. The essence of Joseph Nguyen's Don't Believe Everything You Think lies in its challenging of our preconceived notions and beliefs. The book is a clarion call to question, to probe, and to analyze our thoughts, rather than accepting them at face value. The value of this message cannot be overstated. It encourages us to take a step back, to reflect on our own convictions and assumptions, and to put them under the microscope. It's about fostering a culture of critical thinking, of intellectual curiosity, and of open-mindedness. It's an invitation to a journey of self-discovery, of breaking down the barriers of our thought patterns, and of exploring new perspectives. It's about fostering personal growth, about pushing our boundaries, about challenging the status quo. So, as we draw the curtains on this discussion, let's carry forward this message. Let's question more, presume less. Remember, don't believe everything you think. Challenge your thoughts, challenge your beliefs, and see the difference it makes.